This is the beginning of podcast number 9 on chapter 14 about effort. It's the second category of movement concepts in our skill theme approach. Effort, unfortunately, is the movement concept that's the most difficult to teach, especially to young kids. The main thing you need to remember is effort can be applied to many of the skill themes that we have or skill actions that we have in sports and other physical activities. So it's important to remember that because you're trying to establish a foundation of movement for every child that you teach. Again, just like in space awareness, the movement analysis framework, or movement wheel that we call it, for effort concepts, the outside ring defines the movement concept, or effort, and that's how the body moves. The second ring, just on the inside of it, defines the components of the concept, or lists the components of the concept, which are time, force, and flow. And the third ring just on the inside of that looks like little pie pieces, defines the components. In other words, time is defined by fast or slow, force by strong or light, and flow by bound or free. And those define the different components of effort. Again, for effort, a lot of it is contrasting between those two different things for each component. Again, the movement concept of effort defines how the body moves, and it contrasts experiences, again, hard versus soft, fast versus slow, and so on, by an eventual, and is followed by an eventual application that's helpful in introducing the concepts. Imagery is an excellent thing for effort because that helps to give, again, the students a visual picture of what that effort means. The example that's given on this slide is move like a hippo with slow lumbering movements. Every kid has probably seen a hippo somewhere on television or in some other cartoon or whatever, and they know that hippos do not move fast. Neither do turtles and some other animals I can think of. Then you can also think of rabbits who hop fast quickly, and also cheetahs who go almost 90 miles an hour through the jungle. So those are things that are helpful for the children to know. Again, here are the components for effort and their definitions or contrasts. You want to focus on these movement concepts as they relate to skills. Think about how throwing and catching might be related to effort, strong and light, bound and free, and so on. One of the things that you can think about for flow is that a free movement in flow would be some batter trying to hit a baseball bat, a ball with a baseball bat. Once that movement is started, there is no more control. The learning experiences or tasks when you teach time means that the students need to have a functional understanding of time by contrasting fast and slow, and they love to contrast fast and slow. It should include opportunities also for doing movements at varying speeds. And how to adapt or change or create a situation with movement using different speeds. Now, the component of force is very difficult to explain to young children because it's hard to think that pre-K to kindergarten kids know what muscular tension is along a continuum. They don't know what a continuum is usually, but you do have to contrast again strong and light movements. I would venture to guess that flow is a concept that might be difficult for everyone in our class to understand. It's not an easy thing to describe, but it does depict whether the mover or the movement is in control of the action. So free flow means that the movement is in control of the action and it's not stoppable at a given time. So the movement is what defines what the flow is in this particular case, like a batter swing, as I said below, or maybe even a golf swing. Once that's started, it's hard to stop it. A bound flow means that the mover is in control of the action. In other words, while they're traveling, they might be able to freeze while they're traveling. Some important teaching points here are that you should focus on effort concepts until the children understand the terminology and they can demonstrate the extremes of each concept. In other words, knowing the contrasts in between the different descriptions of each component. Once they master those contrasts between slow and fast and large and small and so on, such concepts should then be applied to actual skill learning situations. Again, with effort, you need to be sure that they understand contrasts before you move to anything else. That's the end of podcast number 9.